Hello, thank you everybody. And Bonnie just joined us. I'm here with Carrie and Bonnie, my friends. My name's Renee Varnador, and this is Soul Portal Journeys, and we're going to do mini readings. Everybody that shows up live gets a mini reading. If you happen to find us on YouTube, be sure and say hi in the chat alongside the video so that we know to give you a card reading also. So I'm seeing that. I'm like got my eye on my little chat over here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna sing in help. Okay, we're gonna sing in the archangels. We want the archangels to surround us. So if you don't know the song, oh, let me see. Here it is. Let me. Okay. You have to have your documents open that you want to share, and I forgot to have my document open, so now I can share it. Here we go. This is all these things you discover as you do all these Zoom classes. So here we are. We're getting a reading on the soul portal map. We're in the middle of October, being peace, and these are the 7 directions that we're singing in. We're starting with the east. So face east, stand and face east. Spirits of the east, air inspiration, Archangel Raphael, please come. Spirits of the south, fiery spirits, Archangel Michael, please come. Spirits of the west, watering calling spirits, Archangel Gabriel, please come. Spirits of the north, earth-bringing spirits, Archangel Uriel, please come. Spirits of below, Mother of Potentiality, Archangel Santafun, please come. Spirits of above, for the sky perspective change, Archangel Raziel, please come. Spirits of within, heart space gives, Archangel Hanael, please come. Okay, so notice how you feel. Notice if you feel a presence surrounding you. We're gonna now clear the chakras. So I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna move this a little bit. I'm gonna be over here playing the harmonium. And here we go. As we clear the chakras, there's my cat in the way, about to walk on the keyboard. So here we got lamb, bam, ram, yam, hum, om. So that's what we're doing. Lam, 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 Okay, notice if you feel any difference in your chakras. I didn't show the om, but I think you guys got it. And here we go. We are going to look at the soul portal map real brief, and talk about what we're going to do. So this is the soul portal map. Got created because I wanted to really track what I was experiencing on a soul level. It was really hard for me to get clarity. It was hard for me to kind of get a sense of sequence of what was happening. So, I was reading the Hindu scriptures and they're talking about the universe has a create, sustain, and destroy cycle. And so that was very interesting. Then I had a mentor who talked about the cycle was actually create, sustain, destroy, void, where you actually go into void. Never liked the word void personally, so I changed it to potentiality because it's my map, right? So I've got potentiality, I've got create, I've got sustain, and I don't like the word destroy either. So I called that clearing because that's the way that I dealt with it when I was working with healing and healing modalities. It's clearing. You're clearing stuff out of the way so that you can actually see what's going on within you. And when you can, you realize, oh my gosh, there's so many gifts when I actually unleash some of this stuff I've been repressing and judging. There's actually so many gifts available, so much more gifts available for me. Take that into silence. And then boom, you come out of that with a perspective change and awakening, a slight shift. It's not that big, it's like big dramatic thing where everybody thinks you're gone insane. You blow up your entire life. It doesn't have to be that, although those make really great stories. And so oftentimes you hear that, but sometimes it's more like subtle shifts that just change the way that you look at everything. And then you continue to move forward with that. Like I used to think I messed up my life. And then I had this perspective change where I realized, you know what? All is well. And everything that I ever did is serving me now. And all the choices I thought were so horrible were actually serving me. So that's a beautiful perspective change. I could go about my life without attacking myself and judging myself. So that was very helpful. I got moments of inspiration. I felt more love, self-love coming in. And then when you feel inspired, then boom, you can start creating. And then you sustain that for a while by teaching other people what you know. And then when you get feedback from other people, you go, that idea that I was treasuring and clinging to, I think I'll release some of that. It's kind of different than I thought. I'm looking at all these different perspectives on all these amazing people. Thank you, Bonnie and Carrie, and many, many other people that have popped into my little, my YouTube channel here. And so you slowly, you stay within what you know for sure. You stay deeply rooted in knowing that I stay deeply rooted in knowing we are divine love and we are here as co-creators with the universe. I stay in that, but I'm slowly moving and gathering perspectives and moving around this cycle and not getting stuck places anymore. There are a lot of people that get stuck because somebody told them they weren't creative, and that was a lie, because everybody's creative. That's what we're doing here on this planet. So we've got all of this stuff happening. Some people don't even realize they have these mini shifts and awakenings because they're not tracking them, and they're like, just like, yeah, dude. And so there's this sustaining. A lot of us love sustaining. We love that forward motion, but we certainly don't like it when it's time to release something that we are attached to. But once we do, the amount of gifts when we up level is amazing. And then going into the silence is to be asking the question, okay, what's next? And kind of the question that we're being invited by the moon phase. We're at the phase of the moon right after the full moon, and it's called a waning gibbous. Sometimes people call it waning crescent or balsamic phase. But we're at 78%, so we've lost 22% of the fullness of the moon. I was watching the moon this morning as it was setting, but there was a whole bunch of pink clouds in front of it. So that's kind of interesting because the moon is right now in the sign of Gemini, which is very twin perspective, which kind of explains why I'm talking about different perspectives in explaining the soul portal map. I've never explained it this way before. There are other explanations of me doing this on this channel, but so it's always a little bit different. And part of that is the influence of this little moon here that I didn't realize. Okay, so the lunar question of today, my mentor, Bronwyn Simmons, came up with 8 lunar keys or 8 lunar questions. When you go really within, when you go into the silent space and you're contemplating, you're contemplating on your next step and what you think, and you're asking your important questions that you want to ask. But also there is a question, what is being released? What is being released? And so I'm going to tell you that one of the things that's being released for me is only tracking 7 energies as we go around. It's not that this is wrong. I perceive these 7 energies all the time, and I still do readings with that. But I'm starting to perceive that more energies available to us, and I'll talk more about that when I get to what's going to happen next week, November 1st, and the theme's going to be flowing with divine timing. So we're going to bring in talk about 20 energies next week. So here we go. Let's pull a card. So I don't see anybody on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, please say hi, because I will like to give you a card. And I know I've got at least one other person that told me they were coming today. So she'll just have to be the last card, won't she? So I'm going to expand this a little so we can see the map a little better. It's maybe kind of fuzzy. Let's see how that goes. There we go. So can you see the words on the side a little better for people that may be watching this and not be familiar with this map? Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so think of something that you want to resolve. It can be in the form of a question, or think of something you just kind of have this feeling, or you're not quite sure how something's gonna manifest, or you're just kind of, what do I need to release would be a good question. What do I need to uncover would be an interesting question, because we have all the answers within us. And so we all have different ways of uncovering information that we need to know, soul-based information. So Carrie was here first, so I'm gonna, this card right here tells me it's Carrie. So Carrie, I'm gonna stop sharing this right now, and we're gonna go and we're gonna talk about this card. Okay, so this is the card that Carrie gets, and I don't know what Carrie's got going on, what motivated Carrie to come today and seek a mini reading. But I'm seeing the bridges here. And there's actually 2 bridges, and one of them is built. This one is the ancient bridge that was built long ago, stone by stone, stacked on each other. And then there's like stacks of stones here and stacks of stones here. And then there's like stones across. And so it's a footbridge, and it was fine as long as to get across the stream on the footbridge until cars started, or horses started, and carriages started. And then they had to build a much stronger bridge that could withstand that heavy weight. So I'm suspecting that the way your life was before worked perfectly fine. It was fine. You could walk across the bridge. It was great for you. You could do it. But you've had to reinforce the bridge, build a second bridge and build a reinforcement, because you're taking your ability to go to bridge, for instance, bridge heaven and earth, your ability to step into spirit. Yeah, sure, you can do that all day, walking across by yourself. But if you're going to help somebody else walk across that bridge, you're going to need to be building a stronger foundation. And you already are. it's already there. It's already available to you. It's just, okay. That's why I did that. And that's why I did that. And oh no, I just do this. No. And so it's like building a strong foundation so that you can walk other people over the bridge with you. Okay, so related to what you've got going on, Carrie, what resonated or didn't resonate? What I was just talking about. I never talked about that card this way.
I'm so excited about that card. When that card showed up, I'm like, oh, cool, that's the bridge card. Oh, that's so really, really super cool. And it really showed me layers at first. And it almost seemed like the bridges represented different layers, and looking at different layers at the same time, and not just focusing on one bridge and then the next bridge and the next thing. It was like taking everything into account and understanding that things are in layers. So that was my first impression. And I was just really excited with that. And then when you gave me build a new bridge, that really fit with what I'm going through lately, because I'm trying to figure out, how am I a bridge in this situation? How do I work across different layers? And then how do I bring other people with me? And so that really does fit. And I like that it was establishing a base, or establishing a foundation. And that seems like that's a really important thing to do, because I'm starting on this new endeavor, is to build this good foundation. And then that requires patience. So I think this card, and the bottom line is, this card is teaching me about patience. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. So what Carrie, of course, is, has a whole bunch of spiritual experience, and she gives messages at spiritualist churches and everything else. Okay. So she already saw a message for herself in this card. She already boom, saw it. The minute she saw the card, she already had a message for herself. And then she took what I said and added to what she already had. So that's kind of the idea. In case it takes you longer to process, that's why I say, just don't tell me what you see yet, but I want you to really look at the card and see what you might see there in the card. So the next card, of course, is for Bunny. So let's see what Bunny. Okay, so I'm gonna see, this is Bunny's card. So I'm gonna let Bunny look at it for a minute, get an idea of what she thinks is going on for her based on what her motivation to show up today, what she was hoping to get, whether she had a question or whether she just wanted some confirmation or some clarity. So Bonnie's got some ideas about what's going on. Okay, so this is actually a photograph of Stonehenge that I took a couple of years ago when my husband and I were there in the UK, near Salisbury, near Amesbury. There was a lot of stone circles around, and we visited most of them. And basically, when I look at these, I see doorways. I see different choices and different doors, and that you go through to get to the center. So you have a lot of options. You have a lot of different doors that you can go through. You have a lot of experience. You have a lot of, ways to connect. You have a lot of ways to connect with your deepest self. You have a lot of ways to connect with other people. You have a lot of ways to connect with divine source. So it's what door are you going to choose to go through next? Now, if you choose to go through this door, is it really that different than if you choose to go through this door, or if you choose to go through this door? Now, on the grand scheme of things, looking back over the end of your life, it makes zero difference which one you do first, second, or third. However, it might make a little more sense for your situation and what you've got going on and what else you need, to go through certain doors that are going to give you. For instance, back in the day, I needed an income. And I was at a crossroads, and I don't know, I shouldn't be talking about myself, but anyway, I was going to go on and tell a story. But so anyway, so Bonnie is making choices, and and as you go through the door that you choose, just be aware, okay, these are the things at this door that these are what I can expect going through this door. This is what I might expect going through this door. I might expand and gain abundance in this way, maybe money, or I may expand in abundance and love, going more through this door. I may expand more in wisdom going in this door, or so there's different, or I may expand by having deeper relationships through this door. So you're looking at, different possibilities as you move to the center with your choices. Okay, so Bonnie, tell me what you saw when you first saw this card. Okay, so you're still muted, so we got to get Bonnie unmuted.
As soon as you held that up, I immediately thought doorways.
Okay.
Yeah. And my question was, what do I need to release? What do I need to receive?
Okay.
And reflecting on what you said, it seemed like there might be, for some tasks, I might not have to choose just one method of communication, for example.
Right.
But there could be many methods, but I don't want to dissipate my energy, but still, but many vehicles, like different ways to communicate with different people, for example.
Right.
Anyway, it's so many doorways is sort of what leapt out at me, and then the idea of choosing, and if it's like, for what purpose am I communicating? And so then that might mean some doorways, or it might mean the message needs to be different, or pick one message, but distribute it in different. Anyway, that's kind of
right. Because if your goal is to communicate with people so that they find their own center, for instance, there are many, many different doorways for people to walk through to find their own center. And so, you would have to communicate that message in different ways, and people are looking for different different things. As some people are looking for more health, some people are looking for more money, and they don't know that they're really looking to find their own center and their own rootedness and their own truth. So, but then some people do. Some people know that that's exactly what they're looking for, and they don't want to hear about manifesting money because they've been there, done that. So you have to have different ways of communicating to different people.
Right.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So, okay, so that's Bonnie's card, and I know that my my step niece, my husband's niece, who is my niece too, Christina, told me she was coming, and she's got 5 children. So something probably came up, undoubtedly. So here is Christina. If you're watching the replay, which I'm going to invite you to do, here is your card. It is the card of the glass with flowing water into it. So you are the glass, you are the container, and this love is flowing to you all the time. And so as you're a beautiful mother, and it's amazing the way that you organize, everything and communicate effectively to all of your children. But make sure that the flow of energy is coming to you, that you are filling up your own cup, because you'll be even better for these amazing children if your cup is full. So make sure that there is time for you. Make sure that there is time for you to meditate. Make sure, I'm seeing water here, flowing water. That would be really nice to just really, take a nice luxurious bath and just have time to focus and center. What Bonnie and I were talking about is how to help people get to their own center. You've got to be at your center to take care of those 5 kids. We don't need any more messed up kids in the world, and you're doing a beautiful job with yours. We just got to make sure you stay, whole, and you stay in with your cup full. And so take that time, figure out ways, how you can have 10, 15 minutes to yourself and just meditate, just go into the core of who you are. Listen to any of the meditations I do on this channel. Just go back, look at them, because there's a lot of different ones there that can help you get to your center and just be able to fill up. So here's this card for Christina. And let's see. So I've got 3 cards and I've got 7 spots. So I'm going to pull, and my cat doesn't want one today. So I'm going to pull one. Yeah, sometimes my cat will be sitting here going, oh. So here's my card for myself. And this is Giverny. And Giverny is in France, and it's just outside of Paris. And what I'm noticing about this card is the reflection, how reflective it is. Up here, the colors are like blues and whites, and down here, the reflection of those clouds and that sky is more lavender. And I'm really seeing, like, for me, that told me that my throat chakra, which is blue, this color blue up here, where I'm communicating what I'm doing right now, but then I always also stay attached or connected to the lavender, which is in my crown chakra. And lavender is just really healing for me right now. So if I get in a tizzy and I'm not sure what I'm doing, just going to the crown chakra, which is the connection to our divine higher power, and just feeling in a sense of that lavender energy can help me just resolve whatever issue I think I'm having. And I can see it's Gemini Moon right now. So I see the twins. I see the sky here, and I see the water reflected here. So it's kind of like a mirror. It's kind of a two-sided. It's kind of seeing 2 perspectives, seeing the sky in 3D and then the sky in, another dimension. So, and we can flow through different dimensions all the time. So Carrie and Bonnie, you are both message givers. Do either of you have a message for me from this card?
I was looking at the sort of the way you split up the 2 halves, and I'm seeing a lot of balance there. Mm-hmm. A lot of balance. Whew. And not only in the way that you work with people, but in the way that you run your life. And you are always looking for that other side of things. And not a lot of people do that. They just look for what's next. And they don't look at what else is possible, what's on the opposite side of it, what perspective can I gain. So yeah, I'm definitely balanced with you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. That resonates. That totally resonates. I'm going to comment on that, but I want to hear if Bonnie has anything.
It wasn't. Oh, and thank you, Carrie. But it was above, below was what. Mm-hmm. Above, below, inner, outer. Mm-hmm. Those were the 4 words, but especially above, below.
Beautiful. Thank
As
you.
above, so below, as below, so above.
Great, because, okay, you guys are brilliant, because above and below is exactly how I find balance.
Yeah.
So what Carrie was talking about. So yeah, and yeah, and I've been working on you know, I have a tendency to just like write, and work, you know, absorb information and blah blah. And a lot of that is on the computer sitting down in my house. And so my part of the balance I'm seeking is to actually, you know, be more physically active. I only need 5,000 steps. People say 10,000 steps, but hey, I'm in my 60s. I only need 5,000 steps a day. So I'm like, I did 5,000 steps yesterday. I said, honey, I cannot go into another shop. I'm done. I'm going to the car. And he's like, honey, I found it. I found what we're looking for the living room. I'm like, go out there and do more steps, right? So I'm sitting there going, okay, I think I got exhausted, and 5,000 steps right now is my absolute limit. And I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to try to bring myself up and walk more and move more so that I can stay healthier. And then I was like feeling with another friend of from the spiritualist church, holds these groups where we cycle and stand in resonance. And I was realizing that I really don't want to be spaced out, and I really don't want to have a headache. And I really recognize the connection between sugar and a headache and being spaced out. And I really need to let that one go. And I've been working on that one for the last few days. And that's part of the balance too, is making sure that the things that I'm eating. So I'm paying more attention to what I'm eating and doing that. And so, yeah, if I want to really be able to be a bridge, like this is like now I'm talking about the cards for all of us. If I really want to be the bridge between heaven and earth, then what I need to do is make sure that I stay healthy and not be, you know, off in a headache or off in a spaciness, and just be able to be grounded, be able to see different sides, to not freak out so much when I have to make a choice, you know. So this is for all of us. We all have bridges that we're building and foundations that we're building. We all have to take care of ourselves first so we can be of service to other people. We all have, did I already say this one? Yeah, we all have doors to choose from, and it's not necessarily, you know, we're not necessarily choosing the wrong one. We have a chance to choose, you know, multiple doors at different times. And we have the ability to say, okay, on this day, I'm going to talk to this person, so I'm going to go through this door. And so we have those kinds of abilities to more integrate. You know, in our younger days, we went through certain paths, but in our wisdom years, we get to integrate more of what's at the center, and so it's easier to go in and out of the doors. So, and then of course, this one, as above, so below, I like that. And I have 4 cards here, so I can't really put 4 cards on the Soul Pearl map. So I'm going to pull cards for people that are usually here that aren't here. So I'm pulling a card for Diane. And Diane, I'm going to tell you, here you go. You've got the dozen colored eggs card. And so you have this beautiful, what we were just talking about, this clutch of possibilities. And does this red one taste any different or better than the blue one or the yellow one or the green one? No, I don't think so. But you have, you have all of your choices. You have your choices of what you decide you're going to consume, what you're going to have more of. And you don't have to stand there and yell at all of the red eggs that the blue eggs are better. No, not necessary, because guess what? They're all divine love. They may not look like it to you because they're red eggs, but it's amazing how we're all divine love, and we're all coming from very different perspectives, and we're living through really intense times where structures are crumbling around us, and some people get angry over some structures crumbling, and other people get angry over other structures crumbling. And it's kind of interesting to see that kind of play out. So you have total choices to totally collect different perspectives if you choose to do so. So that's that one. And then Lupe, I don't know what's going on with Lupe, but I think Lupe got the ladder card. So Lupe is the ladder. You are not afraid to ask for help, and you are not afraid to say, okay, I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna move up this ladder. This person is helping me. I'm gonna do what they say. I'm gonna climb. This person presented a way of, steps for me. This person presented steps for me. I'm gonna follow these steps. I'm gonna have this person help me follow these steps. And now you are a ladder. You have a ladder. You have a ladder that you've been given by others, by other groups, by other people. You have a ladder that you've been given. You have arrived in your own sense of who you are, your own center. You've totally arrived and have confidence there. And now you can create, you can use the perfectly good ladder that you've been taught by other people, or you can choose to create your own ladder that you can extend to other people to help them. So maybe nobody said it exactly that way to you, but maybe they could have, should have, might have, would have been better. And maybe things might just like spontaneously occur to you as you're talking to someone who is asking for your help, and you are being a ladder for them. And maybe you deviate slightly from what you've learned or what you've been told, or maybe more of who you are starts coming up, as far as being able to sit with somebody and really help them with where they are, which is a place that you've been. So love to you, okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So instead of giving a card to my cat, I'm going to give a card to my pet psychic, Brenda. And Brenda Jensen, she did an amazing Reiki healing with us. If you guys want to find that amazing healing, it's on there. The amazing teaching that Bonnie did, the amazing teaching that Carrie did, are all on this channel. Just look through the different episodes. But Brenda, you're getting 4 very ripe fruits. 4 very ripe fruits. So there are things ripening in your life. So I want you to take that sense of ripening and what that is. Here we're looking at fruit ripening. We're not looking necessarily at the fruit. I'm not thinking that it's about the fruit itself. I'm thinking that it is about the process of ripening. And what does that feel like for you, the process of ripening? I'm inviting you to take that into meditation for yourself and think about that question, because it's not necessarily nailed down, but it's more of an energy, the energy of ripening. And what is that? And there seems to be some kind of invitation for you to be in that ripening energy or at this time. So I'll leave that with you. And now I'm going to put all of these cards on the soul portal map, and you guys are going to have, Bonnie and Carrie are going to help me. So here we go. Here we go. Now, these are the cards we have. Any ideas on where they would go? We have all of these cards. Any ideas? Your card, Carrie, where do you think it goes?
Oh,
I'm thinking, I got 2 things. I got clearing and sustaining. And I don't know how both of them can be for the same card, but I'm having a hard time choosing between clearing or sustaining.
Okay. I like sustaining for this because you're building the
Yeah.
foundation building aspect of this card. Yeah, there may be some clearing involved to create this, but there's definitely the action towards an energy of foundation building, which would be in, on this map, that would be sustaining. So, so does that sound good?
Excellent, thanks, yeah.
Okay, so we'll put that one on sustaining. Okay, and now, Bonnie, let's look at your card. Where do you think we would place your card on this map?
Because it's many doorways, I would put it on potentiality.
Okay, we'll put it, there is, the circle, the center of this Stonehenge circle this is the center, no matter where we're, where we are in the cycle, we're the center is always there, and we're at a point of potentiality, and we can choose many options, many doors. So let's put that on potentiality. And now let's see, we've got my card. I think, wait, we didn't. No, we did Christina's card because I thought she was going to be able to come. All right, any ideas on where Christina's card should go? Carrie?
I'm thinking gift.
Me too. That's what popped in my mind too.
Good, okay. So gift, we've got, she is a gift to her children, and she needs to give to herself too. And then your gifts will, when you're giving to yourself, then your gifts flow out to the world with more potency, with more energy, with more. Okay, so we'll put that on gift. And we all have the gift of flowing in energy. Okay, so then we had Diane's card. No, we had my card. All right, where do I want my card? I think perspective change. What do you guys think? Carrie's giving me the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's see, we've got 3 more cards. We've got Lupe's Diane's card. Where does Diane's card go?
The eggs.
It's either inspiration or creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So it's gonna go in one of those 2 spots. Okay. And so we have these other cards. Okay, so I'll put this one over on this side of the map. And we'll look at these other cards to get more clarity on which one the eggs are going to be today. The ladder and the ripening.
Just because the ladder goes up, maybe that's inspiration.
Okay. Yeah, because
And
she's going to have to get some inspiration. It's like, okay, so this one, putting it in this position means that you are trusting the flow of inspiration. So like, for instance, if you were working on a path with somebody, and it's a set path, and it's like published books, and it's like we're taking you through the steps here. When you flow with inspiration through the steps, that then you're, in a way, you're bringing yourself, and your own inspiration is flowing through that process. So we'll put that one, we'll put the ladder under inspiration, which makes the eggs creativity.
which
I
makes
like that, because when you need more than one element. You need to really understand more than one element to really be creative. You can't just like, okay, I have a white canvas, And that's my painting. No, you need more elements than that. And so that leaves the sense of ripening that Brenda got, which is kind of a flow. So now I'm going to add the idea that this is a clearing. So no longer, so that there's a sense of ripening, there's a sense of clearing. So I would invite Brenda, because she does Reiki all the time. She's amazing. She's really powerful. And she doesn't even, she just does it. And so just to clear, before she asked the question I asked her to ask herself about ripening, to just totally clear all her chakras first and then go into the ripening. Does that make sense to you guys? Carrie?
I was kind of wondering, because that card ended up being in clearing, I was looking at it going like, how does ripening end up clearing? And then I thought about the ikebana trees, where you sort of just cut away all that's not necessary, and what you have left is the mature, ripe things.
Right.
I thought, okay, if I can think about it that way, that in that process of ripening, that you're clearing away all that's not necessary, then I can understand it, yes.
Right, so the moon phase then would be really, if Brenda resonates with this at all, the moon phase is really, really important for her, because there's all this pruning that can happen. But let's look at this card for all of us, because all of us, not just Brenda, are in the moon phase. What are we releasing? There is one that says what is ripening, but right now we're in the moon phase. What is being released? So how is that happening for all of us? And how is that happening as we move around this circle? So I'm going to take a picture of this, and it's going to be the picture that is on the YouTube replay. It is going to be the picture that's going to be on the November newsletter. And it's going to be the picture that's in Facebook telling everybody what the replay thing is. So this is this picture that you see as you click this stuff, people watching the replay, is the picture of these cards in this circle. So it's people kind of like already know where we put these cards when they see that. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to start. Where should I start telling the story?
Creativity.
Creativity?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here we are. We are in the process of releasing. Something is being released. Our creativity is being released. We are opening up. We are opening into our creative clutch. We are looking at all of the things that we have to create with. We're taking an inventory and we're starting to put things together in new and exciting ways. So we are letting our creativity just have fun and spark us and just throw things out there. And then we may say, oh, you know what? I don't even want any of these yellow eggs in here. I'll just like take those out. Or I don't even want, I've got too many red eggs, and let me have 2 of everything, and take some of those red eggs. So we're just creating, we're deciding, we're releasing things that aren't part of our creation after we pull together all the things that we think might be part of our creation. So that's our creativity. Then we move into sustaining. So after we have our elements, after we have our eggs, our collection of eggs, then we have to build the bridge. We have to build the foundation. So we're talking about foundations. We're building rock upon rock. We're building a foundation. Foundations are usually the energy of 4. So if you know numerology, it's the energy of 4. So just kind of meditate on a square, meditate on a 4. You've got this foundational energy that is helping us build. We're creating some real, we're saying, oh, I get to be patient. Oh, good. That means I don't have to actually do anything right now. I'm going to be patient and I'm going to build the foundation. So we're building the foundation. It's kind of hard to get motivated to build a foundation, but it's like really, really important. So we've got that sustaining us. And then we're like going to clear away some of the things that we realize after we built this foundation just don't even seem to be necessary anymore. Like things, ways, you know, the old, we're pruning away the old so that the rest of it can really ripen and clear. And once this ripens, then we start moving into the gift. And the gift here is the flow that we're going to be talking about all the month of November, which is the flow in divine timing. We always have this. We always are in flow. The energies are always flowing. It's just like they just seem to move through. And the more we try to, you know, clutch them, it's harder. But as we need to maintain ourselves as a pure container. You can see that this container, you can see right through it. You can see that it's the water, divine water flowing into it, and just, you know, holding that for as long, for yourself, as long as we're here in this body, to keep this body healthy and flowing. So next we've got potentiality. So once we have this flow, once we have this sense of ripening, this foundation, these elements that we're going to create with, we decide who we're going to take it to, what door, what communication we're going to take it through first, and we're you know, how are we going to take certain groups of people with certain perspectives through the door to their own center. So we've got that. As far as a question we can ask in the silence, we can take that question into the silence, and the silence is not empty. The silence is full. And once we hit the silence, then the fullness arises and we get the resolution to what we were looking at. And once we get the resolution, then we head into perspective change. And we're like, oh, I always looked at things like this, and now I see this is also happening. Oh my gosh, how do I, you know, reconcile these two now? How do I, you know, integrate these two different perspectives? And then we let our inspiration answer this, and we say, well, you know what, I can build, how do I teach this to somebody else? How do I help somebody else do what I just figured out? Who is already out there saying what I'm trying to teach? Oh, this person's already doing this. Okay, let me find out what they've got going on. So you're finding your ladders, and you're building your ladder to the people that you want to be able to serve. So that's our inspiration, which leads us back to, this is a circle, this is cyclical, it leads us back to an even better clutch of things to create, because now we've got an even better batch. It's kind of up leveled, and now we have even more different creative elements to work with, because we just got a whole bunch of new stuff and we got rid of a whole bunch of old stuff. So we're holding in our hand, we want to hold the new stuff in our hand, so we got to let go of the old stuff. So let's let that old stuff go and ask the end, be open to receiving what we actually need, which may not be what we think we need, but maybe it might be, but it might not be. So that's today. Carrie, Bonnie, you have any comments before I start talking about what we're doing next week?
Just, I'm really glad I got to do this.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what's coming up. We've got some November is happening. Did anybody do anything with the Arcturus gateway? That was really happening. We had a chance to have the star Arcturus. We were really close, the Earth was really close to it, and we had a chance to open the back side of our heart chakra and get some starlight in there and see if things get stirred up. Anybody do that? Okay, so I worked with that some more, and ran some star charts and stuff, and that was really interesting. And I found out my husband, who's got a whole bunch of planets in Sagittarius, has a degree at the Galactic Center. So I did some star charts on me, and I did some star charts on him, and I'm like, okay, so my honey has access to the Galactic Center at 27 degrees Sagittarius. And Carrie, I know you're a Sagittarius, so we'll see if you have anything at 27 degrees. That would be awesome to figure out and find out. Let me know. Let's get together and we'll get your chart figured out. We already had the sun just left Libra and it entered the water sign Scorpio. So we're in the really deep part of the year. Scorpio is all about rebirth and transformation. This time of year, we're really close to the Pleiades constellation. And I found out that Juno, the little asteroid that relates to marriage, is conjunct all the stars in the Pleiades. So that was kind of interesting. So that was an interesting thing to discover. And we're going to, our next class is going to be on November 11th. Isn't that lucky? Because 1111, 111 is like an angel code. It's like divine protection. It's Archangel Michael. So we'll have to work a little bit with a resonance of protection. Archangel Michael loves to put big white resonance bubbles around us for protection. So we're going to work with that a little bit next week. As just an aside, Venus is going to cross the galactic center that I was just talking about on November 1st. So you don't have to have a planet at 27 degrees Sagittarius. All of us can experience the crossing of the galactic center. And when Venus does it, because she's the planet that has to do with money and heart and partnership and relationship and love, it can be pretty powerful. And it could, if we meditate on that day, it could lead to a heart awakening. So that's really cool. So we're going to be aware of that next week, that could be happening. The Scorpio new moon is going to happen 3 days after we meet. And the meditation to every new moon is what is being conceived. So new things. And then we've got this exciting, I love this day in the numerology. We've got 1111 coming up. That's huge. We're going to talk about that on November 8th. We've got all of these planets doing things. We've got an eclipse coming up. It's a partial eclipse, but hey, it's a brand new eclipse cycle. And we've been having eclipses with the axis of Sagittarius and Gemini, and Gemini being gathering of knowledge and Sagittarius being releasing of wisdom. And now we have the different axis. We have the axis of Taurus, Scorpio. So we have this really grounded Earth Taurus with this really deep transformation energy of Scorpio. So we're going to move out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius way like in a month. So all of that stuff's coming up. But what we're going to do next week, okay, is we're going to start talking about flowing with divine timing. And I found out that flowing, ever since Jupiter and Saturn had their grand conjunction and everyone was talking about, oh my God, it's the star of Bethlehem and this happens every 20 years. But now it's a brand new cycle that's 200 years on the starting of 200th years. So everybody was having a big hoopla over December 21st, 2020, right? One thing that I didn't realize was that really opened the door for all of us to perceive more of the ability to flow with grace, to be in divine flow. So since that is a gift that the universal energies gave us, I'm figuring we might as well work with it. I can feel it, but I haven't put it all together. So I'm putting it now all together and I'm looking at people that already did. And I'm going to present you with Pia Orlean, what she came up with 20 of the earth energies. And we're going to talk about an overview of that. And we're going to look at time in a completely different way than we've been looking at it since Pope Gregory and the Gregorian calendar. And since we started in the 15th century with all these clocks and stuff. So we're getting out of clocks, we're getting out of linear time. All of that sense of release of time in calendars and all that stuff actually relates to what's happening, what's been happening on the planet since December of 2021, which is more and more people talking about the power of now. Like Eckhart Tolle's book just went crazy, you know. There was a book written, Be Here Now, by Ram Dass that didn't go crazy in the 60s. But now, after December of 2012, we're all much more attuned to the fact that time is happening simultaneously. People in the 60s used to talk about past lives. Now everybody's talking about parallel lives. The past is dissolving for people. The future is now, instead of being perceived as fixed, is being perceived as potential. So we're seeing this release of what time means. And so really we're looking at the energies that are flowing in a cycle. And so we'll talk more about what those energies are and how they flow and how that cycle works. And we'll do a couple of exercises to be able to embody some of those energies. And today's earth energy is devoting. And it's aligning to the north. So if happen to be facing north right now, and today's energy is devoting. So this is my altar where I'm feeling devotion. I'm feeling devotional. This is Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead here in Mexico. We've got the marigolds, which are big flower that grows well right now. And so it's the Dia de los Muertos flower. And then we've got ancestors who have crossed out of the body on the altar. And I've got candles from when my husband and I got married. And Carrie will recognize this vase right here, because it's the Mary Magdalene tree that she gave me. And then we've got the candle of Our Lady of Guadalupe that has the gold all around her. And so when we use that golden halo as we go into the eye of the heart. So this is like, this is my part of my morning practice. There's a little lime there. Sometimes I'll put little bananas there. I'll like offer with devotion. There's water, sacred water right next to her. So there's all of these things. I sing the Mary song that flowed through me as a way of developing devotion. So devotional energy is one of the earth energies that I've been working with for a while. So if you don't have an altar, you think about what you might want to put on an altar, because today's earth energy is devotional energy, but it will really click in at sunset. So see if, as the sun's setting, if you get any ideas about devotional energies. If you're watching this replay, please click the little subscribe button. It'll be easier for you to find what's going on my channel. You'll be able to see it in a more organized way, and you'll be able to join us. We're going to sing our little song now, unless either of you have a question. Carrie? No, we're good. Okay, we're going to sing. Here we go. We're holding each other's hand. We're holding the hands of the other people that were named in the circle who got cards. And here we go. In this circle of love, in this circle of peace, in this circle of love, in this circle of peace, I feel our unity, love, sweet security. I feel our unity, love, sweet security. In this circle in the circle of ease. Okay, thank you everybody for coming.